Happy New Year, bub.
Hey, you too, man.
Here we are again. Episode 16, live on the interwebs.
Oh, yeah.
Brought to you by Pulling Out Punches Apparel, 717 Surplus, and CannaDips, with the flavor of the week being, let me find the camera here. I always do this. Tangy citrus with limonene infused terps. So shout out to CannaDips. Go to CannaDips.com, code FightShow for 20% off your order. I am still battling this chest and whatever thing, so we're going to work on through this. Bill's going to run the show today.
I don't think anybody wants that. I'm just good for some spontaneous drop-ins here and there.
You win any football money since you ain't got no fights to bet on?
Yeah, Garrett and I were talking before the show. One, I'm jonesing pretty bad for some UFC. It's like I'm writing in my diary. I'm like day 4 with no mixed martial arts in 2024. Like, football money though. No, the Eagles suck. Brock Purdy's a bitch. Let me see what else is going on. No, I had a rough weekend in NFL betting. Working slowly, giving that $2,000 back to the casino.
Portnoy won $1 million on the Michigan game.
I did hit that.
Not that he needed another $1 million.
I was a little pissed off, and I threw $500 down on the Michigan money line, and the way they made me sweat, I will never bet that much on a game again. This douchebag comes out, throws a pick, the first freaking play of the game, like the biggest game of the year, and you come out and throw a pick your first play. Luckily, the guy had stepped out of bounds. Like, then the two guys taking punts, they muff punts. The one guy's getting a personal foul on third down. It's like they just couldn't have done it any worse. Thank God they won. They should have won by fucking 20. I shouldn't have had to sweat like that, but I did, and I'll never bet that much on a game again. Fuck that.
First, hold on. Here we go. We're gonna let him get settled. We got a guy waiting in the wings. We don't want to keep him. I know some people might be here to see him. Matt Benson, no UFC next week. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, this guy's been a pro for over a decade. Salt of the earth human being, just a fucking stand-up good dude. I can't say enough about this guy. Business owner, dad, husband, awesome at it all. Mr. Shogun Fights. He's got credentials, like I said, going back over a decade. PFL, CFFC, LFA. We saw him at Strike Off, Bill. He's 3-0. 3-0 as a boxer in 2023, and we're here to see what's coming up for 2024. Micah, see me, Terrill. What's up, fella?
What's up, guys? Hey, you forgot my most infamous one, Bellator, too.
Shit! You know what?
That's the one I went viral on.
I forgot about that.
All good press is good. Any press is good press, right?
What's up, Micah? Been a little bit, man. How you been?
It's been a while, man. Good to see all y'all, man. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing all right, man. Retired from the ref gig. Now I can run my mouth online about anything I want. It's cool.
Yeah, well, you're one of the most knowledgeable guys that can do that, so that's a good thing.
I bit my tongue for a bunch of years, man. I wasn't allowed to talk or say shit.
I've been chasing this guy to do content for since before Checkmate, since before Fucks I Give shirts, since before, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I still have those shirts. I still have those shirts.
We still got some too. A couple people were asking me about them online with the content popping, so we might bring them back out. We'll see what's up. But you were the OG supporting.
I'll take it if you want to send them. I'll wear
them. Always. But no, shout out. We mentioned it before. One thing we shouted out last year that we really wanted to just emphasize, your whole down to box thing. So I definitely want to ask you about that. If anybody didn't know, we talked about it I think once or twice on the show. And Micah signed a partnership with Down to Box. Well, you know what? I'll let you talk. Go ahead and talk, man. Go ahead and speak on it.
I apologize if you hear my 2-year-old going crazy downstairs.
It's all good.
So anyway, the Down to Box is it's partnered with the Down syndrome organization here in the state of Maryland, and it's multiple states throughout the country. But basically, we run 2 classes a week, one for the kids and one for the adults that suffer from Down syndrome. And it's one of the highlights of my week. It's awesome. I said the smiles on that, you did everything right when you just look over and you have 5 to 10 kids just smiling, and all you did was walk in the door. It's such a good feeling. So what it is we work them out for roughly about 45 minutes to an hour, and it consists of boxing, a little bit of cardio. They love getting in the ring and pretty much just fighting you. Like, so it's me running for my life for about 15 minutes too. But we got a lot of great help with my guy Chuck. It's him and his sister Jen. They're actually running it now. I'm out of my gym, and they do a great job. They do amazing. I mean, we wouldn't have this program if it wasn't for them too. So it's not just me by any means. It was just it's a whole family thing, and it's a great thing. And the fact that a few of them have actually signed up. Sign up for actually full memberships of the gym as well. So they actually do my Fight Fit class with my adults. They do my kids classes. So it's just pure joy, and it's just great for the organization and for the kids and the adults.
For sure. Yeah. So we wanted to give you your flowers again on that. We were talking to Mike Pope about that. The highlights of the show were what a salt to the earth human being Micah Terrill was, and also that he, I think, and I quote, Mike Pope said that you were the hardest puncher he's ever sparred with. So the fans have already been introduced in the Fight Show Nation to Micah Terrill. So we always like sharing good shit. So we appreciate that.
Mike's a good dude. That he's back too. I'm excited to see this. He's back. I'm
question for myself, because you did something that I wish I would have done. I didn't have my first amateur fight till I was 31. What made you decide to dip over into the boxing realm, man? That's something I wish I would have done. I started in the
man. Family. Boxing is a one-dimensional, or not one-dimensional. I'm sorry. It's it's one aspect of mixed martial arts. You got in MMA, you have jiu-jitsu, wrestling, Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing. It's everything. Karate, you name it, it's all together. I had to go to different gyms. I couldn't just be at my gym training. I got boxing, then I had to go to a wrestling spot, then I had to go to a strength and conditioning spot, then I had to go to my Muay Thai. So I'm traveling, and I can train in the morning, but then my coaches and other people, they wanted to train me, they couldn't train till night. So then I'd leave at 5 a.m, wouldn't get home till 9 p.m, never saw my kids, my wife. And, it's kind of run its course in a way, because I'll be actually 40 years old in 2 weeks. I'm in the best shape of my life right now. And I'm still doing boxing, and I'll let you guys in on a secret. I'm coming back to the cage, and it's going to be a big one.
Okay.
It's going to be this fight's going to be, it's been about 9 years in the making for this fight. And I'm going to sell a heck of a lot of tickets. I can promise you that, but it's one you're not going to want to miss. And when I'm actually able to announce it and say who it's against, you guys, jaws are going to drop. You're like, oh my goodness. So it's a good one.
Hoping it's as close as some of the other ones that I've been to myself. I'm hoping for our sake, Bill, because you already know we can meet up in Baltimore, dog. It's about 90 minutes for either one of us.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to drag it out of you too much. It's can you say what state it's in?
It'll be in Maryland. Oh yeah, it'll be for Shogun. I'll tell you that.
Can I take? No, I don't want to put them on the spot. I want to take one guess.
Keep it down for right now.
I got you.
Whenever you're ready and contractually obligated to announce it, we're more than happy to have you back on.
I'll make sure I let you guys know on that. But back to the whole thing about like the boxing. It's just a family. Like boxing, I can box in the morning. I can run and do all stuff. And it's 7 o'clock. You heard my baby. It means I get to be home and be with her. And then now that I also, with my gym, we're training there majority of the time. I'm able to bring her there, so I get more time with my son, more time with my daughter. So it's my dogs. Everybody comes to the gym and we just hang out. So that was the biggest, the most influential reason. Was my wife and family.
I'll put you on the spot here. Are you a better boxer or are you a better MMA? Where's your love? Where's your love lie? Where do you feel that
I love
13 to 15 KOs? Yeah, he's striking's crisp to say the least.
Yeah, so in boxing, I feel I have a lot better stand up, and I thoroughly love boxing, right? But my IQ in MMA is so much higher. I feel like a complete dum-dum on certain things when it comes to boxing, understanding, the point system, understanding the mouthpiece roll if it gets knocked out versus you spit out. Like, it's just, there's so many different things that I don't really know. So I can't fully love boxing as much as I do MMA because I just don't fully understand it. I haven't been in the game long enough, and I haven't been a student in just boxing in the game. So that's just me.
Well, from what I remember, what you watching, you are what? You're definitely 6 foot tall. You're a tall, rangy guy.
I'm
right?
about 6. I'm 6'2", and I got a 76-inch reach.
That's what I remember that. I remember. So, and what's your weight class? About 180, 170?
170 welterweight. Yep.
Okay.
Welterweight for MMA, and then light heavyweight for boxing at 176.
No, I remember you're a rangy guy. You're athletic. You punch hard. 6'2", 170. That's a frame that's pretty well suited for boxing. So I just wasn't sure which one you were feeling you were better at there.
And back to that point, as far as like MMA and boxing, like the combined, like what's actually helped me is what you said, my athletic movement. I'm not a pure boxer at heart. I'm an athlete. Can I box? Yes, but I'm an athletic boxer, right? I'm not the most technical, like a lot of these guys are. But my footwork in MMA, it's so awkward. You transition to boxing, it makes it more awkward and it throws them off. So I like it.
Well, I remember for your fights, you never came in fat or chubby or out of shape. You were always sharp, win or lose. That's an important part of it. So, I mean, hey, we all took losses as long as you came in there in shape, gave your camp the best you could.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
You can't win them all.
Yeah. So, but you are 4-0 or 3-0 boxing or 4-0?
Yeah, 3-0 pro boxing, and I got another one coming up, and I'm also in the works trying to get my wife's not listening, but the bare knuckles to BKFC. If they coming to Virginia soon, you might see me there pretty soon. So,
rumor mill, they might be coming to Pennsylvania before the end of the year. They're talking an Eddie Alvarez card in Philly.
I heard, but I wasn't sure. Like that, it just depends on what I got lined up with the boxing and my March fight. But if it's before, if they come in, they're talking about coming to Virginia again before, but it wouldn't be as big of a show. So I'm just waiting to see. But they call, I'm gonna answer.
Everything I heard was Philly, and again, this isn't super verified. Bill would know. He's got the plugs on the BKFC. But
where do you know where at? So it's in Philly, you said. So
I heard good rumors, strong rumors. Sorry, Philly Q4. That's what they're shooting for. They're waiting on some regulation stuff to go through, but they're really trying to focus on Eddie Alvarez with him being from Philly. So
okay,
I'll tell you what, that's backyard shit.
Yeah, that's his backyard. Oh yeah.
I still talk to Dave Feldman from back. When he ran XFE in 2010 or 11 before he ever got into any of this bare knuckle stuff. Him and I go way back. So I shoot him. I would almost guarantee for Eddie Alvarez, he's going to try and get the Wells Fargo Center. I would almost guarantee that. I can't see him running a smaller venue, not like the sheet metal local, union workers hall. He's going to try and do something big, and he's going to try and put on a big ass card.
Oh shoot, that's dope. I did not know. Huh.
No, I'm not putting more. I would assume.
But yeah, but you know it.
Yeah, for Philadelphia first show. Let me put it this way: if I were him, I would try and get the Wells Fargo.
I would, because I was thinking 2,300 arena maybe, but I mean,
that's way too small. That's way too small.
Yeah, Alvarez would sell that out alone.
No. Even in Salt Lake, Utah, where they just had their thing, they had a crowd of 8,000 to 10,000 people. You fought at the 2,300 arena before or no?
Oh, I fought at the 2,300 before. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That
you
might
hold. You can fit maybe 2 to 3.
Yeah. No,
Josh stopped in and said,
what's up, Josh?
Leacore Center, Temple plays basketball.
That's a great one too. Listen, Dave.
There's options in Philly for sure.
Dave has been posting online. He has some really big stuff in the works. So he might have, he's posting stuff online that says biggest meeting of my life. But so his budget by Q4.
All right. I'm gonna have to reach out to my guy, my agent, and see what's up.
Yeah, he might have some more backing that's starting to get him into places that hold, 12 to 15,000 people instead of the 6,000 to 8,000 people. Who knows what's going on? But for Eddie Alvarez, for what I would try and do with him and Mike Perry, I'm trying to get to Wells Fargo because I know that would be huge, especially if it was the first event in Pennsylvania and he comes with Mike Perry. I mean, hell, I don't really buy tickets to a whole lot of mixed local.
Exactly, but I'd be there. I'd find a way to get in. Absolutely.
I'd be at that one. Oh, yeah. No, I would be at that one for sure.
Heck yeah.
So, well, yeah, that's great. That
Christmas is striking his Bill. I think you might need to do a little name drop on it for old Micah there.
Yeah.
Micah's resume speaks for itself, man. He don't need my name. I mean, he's got his own people. They're
You're the
Nate
plug.
Nate Shook is the matchmaker. Dave Feldman.
Yeah, see, I know Nate. I know he's busy. Yep. He's busy. I do know him, but I'll talk to my guy Hamper.
Yeah, well, they have they're looking for high quality guys, not guys that are just trying to try this out for the first time.
Right.
Obviously, they have that. Obviously, that too, but they want guys like you that have the resume that they can say, hey, here's who this guy is. He's 4-0 as a pro boxer.
I'm getting on the horn.
Like I said, I'm hoping for a gigantic event down in Philadelphia. I really think that's going to come through. Dave Feldman is a very smart promoter. He's already got 10,000 ticket sales just by booking Alvarez and Perry in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? That's a big fight for Philadelphia. So I'm definitely hoping to see you on that.
Okay, yeah. You say hi.
There's one of the troop.
Yep. Say hi, Kai. Hi.
What's up, baby?
That's one of the crazy things about the internet. Hey, Jamie. That's the crazy thing about the internet. Like, I followed and me and Mike have been following and supporting each other for so long that, like, I feel like I don't know his kids for shit. But I've watched his kid. Like, I've just watched his kids in moments, and he posts them, and he's a proud dad. So it's crazy, man. Dude.
They done saved me. I'll tell you that. They're my everything. And then my son, he's kind of a freak athlete. When it comes to football, wrestling, boxing, he does it all. And, I don't really personally care what he does. He never has to be a fighter, per se. But he's damn sure going to know how to stick up for himself. He's going to know how to help kids out there getting bullied, and he won't be a bully. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just important for him to know it and be around it. But he's in the gym every day. He wants to get on my phone. If he wants 15 minutes on my phone, he has to give me 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups. Then he gets it for another 15. Then he's giving me another 100. He does about 200 to 400 push-ups a day. I mean, if you see me, he's yoked for a 9-year-old. He runs with me. He runs 2 miles with me. He did it for the first time the other day, and he did it without skipping a beat. So
I'll tell you what, the earlier the better, because in this day's world and just the way stuff is, there's going to come a day sooner rather than later. He's going to be tested, and you want him to be able to stick up for himself.
Absolutely. This world we live in is not good.
Brutal, right?
My daughter, I think my daughter's actually going to be she's going to be a bigger menace than him. She's still like 2.5, man, and she's nuts.
Yeah.
My 10-year-old's a savage. She's probably a savage. Yeah, no. And even we've had the talk with the principals at school. If my kids aren't bullies, they will not be a bully. There's no situation where they will be a bully. But if they can't defend themselves or get out of a situation, don't call me. I'm gonna come get them. We're gonna go for ice cream, and they're gonna do their
exactly.
And that's gonna be the end of it.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly. And with that being said, I have a kid that I'm working with in my gym. 90% of my kids that are in my gym that are teenagers and stuff, they're there because they're getting bullied. Well, without saying his name, let's just say boy A, he's been with me for about 14 months. He came in and he would have a hoodie on, never take his hood off. He would never take his hands out of his pocket, would never speak. About a month in, I got him to take his hood off. 2 months in, now I can't get him to shut up. He comes in there all the time. And he actually just had his first – so he got taken out of school that he was getting bullied real bad, homeschooled and stuff happened. So then they had to put him back. Well, the same kids that were bullying him, he actually stood up for him, and he took care of one of the kids. So he comes in, the confidence out the wazoo. He's like, man, he's like, Coach, I said, you'll be proud of me. Like I was so absolutely proud of him, for that. Just not for what happened to the kid, but just for him standing up for himself like that. As you said, your kids, there might be a time they're not bullies, but there might be a time where they need to be,
Yeah. They're going to be tested. Life tests everybody, man. They're going to get tested one way or another. They got to be tough,
Yep.
The world's not getting any easier, people.
The internet has made it worse. I will say that.
Here's the deal: if you have a kid that's half this is like a Dana White quote, and I'm going to butcher it, but the general consensus is 2024. If you have a kid that's halfway savage with a halfway decent work ethic, he's going to mow people. He or she is going to mow the competition over exponentially as they grow. That's just
exactly. What are you doing? You're crazy. Yeah, that's absolutely right. And that's just because the kids have they have an iPad in one hand and a cell phone in the other, or and their work ethic is non-existent because their parents isn't non-existent. It's non-existent as well. So it's you got to lead by example, and and kids are smart. They though they pick up on a lot of things, especially at a younger age when you're molding their brains. And discipline's a big thing in my family. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really let you get away with a lot of stuff, and I was raised on discipline, and my kids are raised on discipline. That's why they always say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, please and thank you. The whole doors, and I pride myself on that, and my family on that.
My kids are still, and this is even to my 16-year-old. If I would introduce you, like I'd take him to the gym, we'd come all the way down there to your gym. Like, this is Micah, this is his gym. Immediately, you would be Mr. Micah. Like, I carry that old school shit where like you're Mr. and where Bill would be Mr. Bill. You know what I'm saying? So that's just that old school shit. There's just some shit, Mr. Bill, that you should carry. And it all boils down to respect and accountability and discipline, and that's it. All you need is those three things.
My 12-year-old calls Chrissy Miss Christie. She's like, she can just call me Christy. I'm like,
okay,
Miss Christie is a respect thing. It's she doesn't quite get it.
I still say it to you, whether a lady, if you're an older lady or a younger lady, I know you're an adult woman. I still yes ma'am, no ma'am. They're like, you don't have to call me. I try and tell Christy it's important. Just I don't want Maddie feeling like she's too big for her britches. Mm-hmm.
So it's just a basic little respect thing that it goes along.
Corey Nichols chiming in. Might as well get Micah's take on it while we're here.
Yeah.
Well, who's the main co now, though?
There's nothing. The Bo, what is it? Bo Nickel.
Well, Bo Nickel
versus Cody Brundage is opening the prelims. Yuri Ratchich and what was the third one? What else did they announce, Bill?
I forget. I'd have to go back and double back and look, but I was actually racking my brain today at work, and I was actually, because I had some time to kill today at work, I was driving some material back and forth. I don't know what the co-main and main event. What do you do? Do you let Alex Pereira go for his third title in 3 weight classes? Like, what do you do? Because you could do.
McGregor's fighting in June.
Well, because you got McGregor at 185
in June.
Then you got
you could. I think you could probably do Pereira and Aspinall, but Aspinall would probably maul.
Wasn't the Diaz trying to get on it too? Yeah, and then I think Jorge just said unretired.
Yeah, Jorge said he's unretired. It's hard to tell.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Nick Diaz on UFC 300 for a farewell fight. That would be big.
They were talking about, and then they were also talking about, it was him. And was it him and Guida? No, it was Tony Ferguson and Guida. they both got the 2 longest streaks.
Yeah, the loser retires.
I thought they were going to do Jim Miller, who has fought on UFC 100, 200,
and 300. He is on the card. I heard.
I thought they put him on. I was looking at the website the other day. I thought they put him on UFC 299.
What? No, he is.
He better be on 300. That's disrespectful. I swear.
That'd be a big fumble.
He's booked in February or March.
Yeah.
He's booked in February or March. And it's got to be February. Hold on.
Okay.
I got to figure it out because you brought it up. He's got to be booked in, I think, February on that February card.
Okay.
And if he's healthy enough, as long as he makes it on that February card to fight 300's April 13th.
Okay.
So I think, or is he fighting this weekend? Maybe he's fighting on the 13th. Let me look it up.
He's fighting like Gabriel Miller or something like that.
And you were right. Semmelsberger, that guy that dropped.
Basil Hoppers.
Yeah, Semmelsberger is filling in for him.
He took that on a short notice fight. He just took that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Jim Miller is fighting next weekend. Gabriel Benitez.
So as long as he goes all right, he might find himself back
on
300. Yeah. As long as he doesn't get
still get on 300. That's the plan anyways.
It better be. It'd be huge, like you said, a huge fumble on their part. Because
I think Nick Diaz. I don't know. Maybe Nick Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal in a farewell fight.
I don't really have any interest in seeing Jorge fight. I just don't. Not right now. I'd rather him just enjoy retirement and stay healthy. Don't go to bare knuckles where a lot of these dudes go and like he loses his name and all that.
I was actually surprised. Jorge ran a bare knuckle. His What's his
He did
promotion called? Garrett, help me out here.
It's game. Yeah, it's like Game
It's
Bread
Game Bread.
MMA. He's
Game Bread MMA, but Game Bread bare knuckle MMA.
They're killing it.
He ran that down. He ran an event down in Virginia.
Yeah.
Did you give any consideration to trying to get on that? Did you reach out to him?
No, because at that time I was just strictly boxing. But his is like bare knuckle MMA mix. So I know Pete Pettis was on the one Game Bread that he just fought that they had in Virginia a couple months back. But I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool. But I hadn't done jiu-jitsu in over a year, a year and a half. And I had 4 fights in a year. One didn't happen because that's a wild story I got to tell you about. One didn't happen due to tainted medicals. And so I've been training fighting every 2 to 3 months, and I just strictly boxing. So I'm like, hey, do I want to do it? But then I'm like, nah, I'm all right. What
was your take me back here? What was your last MMA fight? Who's the
last MMA was November. Again, November 2 years, a year and a half ago. Yeah, November of not this past year. I think 2022.
11, 12, 22.
Yeah, 11, 12, 22. So I fought the guy Brian McDowell, who in a rematch. So the first fight, it was I fought him. I had one of my best friends die. Dave Pope, a professional fighter, died 5 days prior to that fight. My mind wasn't really there and stuff like that. No excuses. I was beating the living breaks off of him for 2 rounds, and then I completely gassed. Like I couldn't even lift my arms. Choking me, submitted me. Lost. Sucks. Second time that time I fought in my last fight, I was literally, it was one of the best fight. If you watch it, it's one of the best fights I've ever put on. Like I was putting on a clinic. I was hitting them every time I threw a punch, every time I threw a kick. Anything was landing. I was completely fine. Nothing was wrong. And I was like, I said, this is a pretty easy fight, but I wanted to drag it out just because the crowd was there. It was my final fight, and that was my mistake because at one point he threw his hand out and he poked me in my eye, which you can actually see the scar. See that right up there? Right there, my eye, but it went right there. He poked it. My eye starts bleeding immediately. And I turned and I went like this to the ref. Ref didn't stop it. I turned away and I went and so the next thing you know, he jumps on me and then the ref jumps in and stops the fight. And I said, bro, after the fact, the ref came up and apologized to me. He's like, yeah, I should have stopped it. You get minutes. And I wasn't hurt. I just was like, ow, what the hell? Like I was bleeding and I knew he poked me in the eye. So, you tell me again, the guy, I don't take anything away from the fighter. The fighter did what he was supposed to, hopped on me and the ref stopped it. So hats off to him. That was my final fight. It was just, but I know what I was getting at is the problem I did. I let it go 3 rounds. I could have finished him in the first or second. I could have just unleashed and did it, but I was having fun. I was fucking having fun.
All right.
Yeah. Not to bring up another shitty one. I think I was just looking at this and I remember it because I was there. I think it was Cole Presley.
I can't.
That was the bloodbath, right? Was Cole Presley the bloodbath?
That's March. Hey, just keep your eyes out for what's next for me.
Oh shit! Micah pieced this dude up and this is you're talking. Let me look here. 2015. So you're talking 8 years ago.
Yeah, so I said 9 years.
The kid was Chris. Micah pieced him for 3 rounds, and
my coach at the time. My coach goes, and this also shows how well I listen. He goes, shoot! I immediately shot a double leg takedown right into a guillotine. And with all this blood, oh my God, I was pissed.
I'll tell you what, whoever your next opponent is, just let it all hang out in the cage, man. My last professional fight, I quit, man. I was on top of this guy. He eventually went to fight in Strike Force, and a kid named Brandon Sailing got in trouble for the little Hitler tattoos. I don't know if you remember that guy.
I do, actually, yeah.
He actually went to Strike Force, and he fought Roger Bowling or something. Roger Bowling maybe. And he lost that one. But, man, I had this guy down. I had him busted open, bleeding. And like you, dude, life distractions. I had a baby being born the following month. I had just started a job. We got over by the cage. He swept me, and I was on bottom, and I let it happen, and I just quit. And I don't know why. I'm still disgusted with myself 10, 11 years later. After they announced him as the winner, I asked to see the microphone, and I apologized to everybody right there and then. I felt so ashamed of myself. I retired right there and then, never fought again. Just because I quit. Like, if I get beat, if I got my ass whooped, that's whatever.
Right.
I I fought down in Virginia for years, a little bit before you got on the scene. I fought Colton Smith. I fought some tough dudes down. Brian Lane ended up with a decent professional career.
Oh, I know Brian. That's my buddy.
Yeah. With him and I fought at Barbarian Fight Club, and you know what? I fought some pretty quality dudes. And if I got my ass whooped, I just got my ass whooped. That's fine.
Barbarian Fight Club.
Yeah.
Man, I fought one time there. I was in the crowd, and they needed a guy. So
yeah,
I went up, I fought, I won, and they came right back out.
Hey, I'll tell you what, the Blackman, Steve Blackman, the Blackman Fight Club, and I, those are my teammates. We used to roll down there, and Matt Douglas liked having us there because he knew my boy Ricardo Magram. That happened to him. He fought a dude. My guy Sean Dolphinbaugh ended up fighting that. What's that tall kid? Josh Dugan. Yeah. He ended up fighting him a couple times, and it was literally like, "Hey, you're here. You're weighing in with your teammates are here. You want to fight tomorrow night?" And I mean, Matt Douglas knew we were always good for one or two of those.
So, that's funny. Yeah. So you understand that completely.
Yeah, that was way back in the day. But yeah, I fought some good quality dudes, and man, if you take a loss, you take a loss. That's fine. If the guy's better than you, if you cheated yourself and you didn't give your best effort and you get beat, and you feel like you should have bet the guy, man, that eats at you and it sticks with
does.
you.
Yeah, I've had one of those, but this, like I said, this one, we getting back. And the funny thing is, 8 years ago now, when I followed him 9 years ago, I was self-taught. I had a gym, Conquest, which was it's a great gym as far as jiu-jitsu and that, and MMA, which I ran the programs on for years, but they didn't have a striking coach there, so I didn't have one at the time. So that's when I flew out and I lived with Cowboy at the BMF Ranch for a while, and I met Henry. Well, I knew Henry Smith from before and stuff, but when I came back is when I started working with Jason Farrell. That was my first striking coach ever, and that was after the Cole fight. Man, this is 10 years later, and I ain't stopped, and I've just gotten better with my hands standing up. Oh boy, wait till you see what my boxing looks like inside a cage. It's kind of scary.
I can tell you have an itch. You got a little chip on your shoulder there.
A little bit.
How long did you go out with Cowboy Cerrone? How long were you?
I was out there for a couple months. Yeah, a couple months, and I came home. I was about 6 months. What was I there? I can't remember. It was in 2015.
How fun was 2015. How much fun was that?
Oh man, I was there. So there it was. It was insane. He's a nut. Nicest guy in the world, but
he seems like he's settled down since the kids.
He's settled down. No, he has settled down a lot more. And it was funny because I was expecting my son being born when I was out there. Actually, no, I lied. My son was 6 months old. That's what I was getting the 6 months from. My son was 6 months old when I moved out there, and he wow. He'd be like, we'd be sitting there practicing. He goes, "Y'all want to go?" What did he say? He goes, "Y'all want to go play golf?" We're like, "Absolutely, I love play golf." I mean, mid-trainer, like, "Oh, you guys want to go scuba diving?" You want to go? "Oh, we're going." He's got screw it. We're not training today. We're going to the lake. So you were at his beck and call, and I was out there when Sean Brady, I lived with Sean Brady, Paul Felder, Jonathan Webb, Brent Primus, Jared Gordon, and who else? And then Bam Bam Healy. We're all out there living together out there and training. I'm in a lot of his YouTube videos. Like Cowboys YouTube videos and stuff like that. It was wild out there, but coming back now, like I said, what I know now and what I'm about to put in, it's from back then all the way to now. It's just a good thing. Yeah,
well, you got definitely 2 tickets sold right here. So
I got you. I'll take care of y'all.
All right, man. Yeah, dude, I can't remember. I'm almost positive I refereed you at least once.
Strike off Brett Schoenfeld.
Yeah, you did. Is that when you? I know you. I know you absolutely ref me. Did you ref me when we fought?
I'm pretty sure it was Schoenfeld at strike off.
I'm
99% sure.
Yeah, I just off the top of my head, I've been hitting the head a lot in the last 10 years. Or 10 years, however long the hell it was.
No, it was you. It was him.
I would think you would have dusted Brent Schoenfeld.
I did. I got one of my favorite pictures. One of my favorite pictures is he had half a shaved head.
Yeah, shaved, and the other half was in braids. You can't forget that haircut.
Yeah,
that was totally.
I'm a shaved.
Oh, did you triangle him? Was it TKO? What was it?
No, it was a knockout.
No, he starched him. He was asleep on his feet.
And it was pretty quick, right? First round.
It was within the first minute.
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah,
See, a little bit's coming back to me.
Yep.
A little bit's coming back to
I
me.
gotta find this picture now because I know I have it.
Brett was a good dude, but a wild dude. He was completely unfocused. Like he was wild.
Yep.
He was an underwear model with some worse shit. Like he was
pro wrestling stripper. He was a stripper.
He had all kinds of shit going on.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna find this.
You know what? That picture, I have it somewhere. That picture is, I have like a file. Like I did some edits for Pope. I did some edits for you.
Right.
I've got a file in my phone that when these kids get a little older and stop destroying all my shit, I'm going to print them out and poster them up in my hallway.
Yeah. And I know mine's coming up. Oh, that's so cool. I'm going to start. We're doing that at my gym. We're supposed to order a bunch of big pics and stuff and hang them up.
Hey, I'm just impressed I remembered anything. That's a big deal for a guy like me.
That is true.
46-year-old retired fighter, and I remembered something from 10 years ago. That's impressive.
That is. I know. I'm about to find this pic, so hold on.
We're going to sit here for 10 minutes, both of us, looking for this picture. No, because I'm looking for it, too.
Oh, are you good? I
have it. It's in my phone, though.
Yeah.
Listen, Brent Schoenfeld was one of those guys that if you were willing to engage in a slow grappling match with him, he was going to fare okay. If you were a long rangey striker that was aggressive, he was going to have trouble.
Exactly.
I refereed Brent like 3 or 4 times.
I wonder what he's doing now. I think he's not around right now, is he?
I haven't. I haven't. He's about 2. He's in Altoona, or last time I heard he was in Altoona. Okay. He's like 2 hours away from us.
I heard he was locked up. That's what I was trying to figure out.
It sounds about right.
I heard something like that, but I wasn't quite sure what. All
right, I know where this is.
I'm still looking for it.
Oh, I got it. I got it coming up. Don't worry, I got it coming up.
Brent.
If you send it to me on Messenger.
There it is. I got it.
Everybody, send it to me. Oh, okay, that'll work.
Oh shit! Hold on. He was knocked out.
Yeah, I remember you folded him up pretty quick.
Micah, send it to me on Messenger quick.
All right. Yeah, and I said, look, and my caption was that time you slept on my ability because he was straight out.
He was starched. It was great. Like
I'll send it.
I had forgone all my duties and all the job I was supposed to be doing on the floor down there at Strike Off, and was just cage side like a fucking kid, bro. Just watching that shit.
Nah, but yeah, shoot. Why can't I find you?
Yeah, like I said, off the top of my head, I would have thought that from what I remember seeing you, I would have put you and him in a different category of fighter. You were much better than he was, especially in the striking.
It'll go through in a sec. It was. We followed him a lot. Like, and we're not even like hostile. Like, we didn't really, we liked each other. But he said a few things, and I was like, all right, dude, you really think you're that good? I was like, all right, let's fight. So
what camp were you with at that time? What camp?
At that time, I was with Conquest.
Okay.
Yep, I was with Conquest with Lance Strippett and Nate Greb.
Where are some of the gyms that you trained at down there? Where you at? Have you ever ground control?
Right now that I train at like 3 gyms. I do my gym, ground control, and then Noel Smith's. I actually got 5 a.m. jiu-jitsu tomorrow, which I'm not looking forward to, but I am. So I got 5 a.m. jiu-jitsu. I'll be there, and then I'll do my boxing and strength and conditioning at my gym, and then I'll get sparring tomorrow night and stuff. We'll go to ground control for their MMA team practice.
Well, are you down there in Virginia right now or Maryland?
I'm in Maryland.
Okay, yeah. What part?
So I live in Edgewater. It's like right around Annapolis area.
Okay, I got you.
So
all right. So you got this.
They're all not far.
So
hot box.
What? I apologize. I don't think I asked you yet. What month are you gunning for? When is the next show gun?
March.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're about 12 weeks. We're about 12 weeks out, give or take, a little under.
Okay, so it's time to start tightening stuff up, which probably explains the 5 a.m. jiu-jitsu thing.
Yeah.
I don't even wake up at 5 a.m. for breakfast.
Shit, I hear you.
Let alone to go sweat somewhere.
What belt are you up to? Where are you at belt-wise jiu-jitsu? Are you?
So I received my black belt back July 18th of 2019.
Okay.
So so I've had it for about 4 years. Coming up. Yep.
What's your if I could ask
5 years.
If you look back over your whole combat sports career, what's your highlight, man? What's your favorite moment? The one that if you had to tell a story to your grandkids, what would it be?
Shoot. My favorite. Shoot, I got about
No, come on. There's one. There's one that you're like,
I
man,
mean,
that was
so like
yeah.
my favorite thing. So my favorite fight was when I fought Jeremy Carper. It was
Yeah, I remember him.
I was fighting for the Shogun title because that was the first time like I actually won it, and I just pretty much blacked out. And I just knew, and I finished him within like 30 seconds. I put a barrage of punches and I kneed him in his head and out. And that was just remembering that feeling was more than any like feeling I've ever like experienced as far as like in the ring, in the cage, like in the moment. That's one I'll tell my grandchildren about. But but then the whole PFL just experience when I was down with them, how hospitable they are. I was down there in Florida for over 10 days. We're in the hotel, quarantine, like all that stuff. And it was just, that is just what it's about as far as like, when you made it, like, you're taken care of so well. You're getting asked for everything. It's just, so that was like my favorite experience, but my favorite memory in fighting would have been
there you go. Yeah.
Jeremy Carper. And
Yeah,
he's a good dude, and he can bang. So I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah, no, I always like asking any former pro fighter, not your current pro fighter, but I like asking any fighter, about this whole game. What was your favorite moment? What was your favorite experience? So you gave us both there. That's fine. Yeah, I remember I got to win a title in front of my little girls after they saw Colton Smith beat the shit out of me, dude.
Yeah,
that guy was so much better than I was at the time, and I could have never caught him. He was so far ahead of me as far as that goes. But then I got to come back after my daughters see me fail. They got to come back and see me win a title, and my dad saw me win one. Those were my favorite moments. So.
That feeling, yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty much because Grayson. I mean, my son comes to he doesn't miss a fight now that since he's been older and stuff. Well, even when he was younger, he was coming, but he gets up. My boxing. If you would have seen my one boxing interview I haven't posted, after I knocked this guy out, he gets in the ring and I'm talking. He grabs the mic out of my hand and tries to talk to the crowd, and I'm like, son, So I'm like, no, and he's just like, hey, this is my dad, whatever. So I grabbed the mic back, and then after I said, son, what were you trying to say? He goes, I don't know. I just saw you talk. I wanted to talk. I wanted to say something. And so that right there, that also is an emotional feeling for me that is like no other. When I know my son's there, I'm going out on my shield one way or the other. He'll never see me quit. He just can't.
Yeah, no, it's good that they got that, man. I see some of these kids, like I have kids that I know that are like family, like their father died. And I try and take that extra little time because I'm like, I know how important it is, a positive male role model is to somebody. So like you spoke when the guy with the hoodie, he probably don't have that.
No.
So the fact that he can come to the gym and that's his space and he knows he's safe there and he knows he's good with you and he's got his fucking back, that's all that matters. Even if it's just an hour a day. An hour a day is better than no time.
He looks forward to that every day, and it's that feeling. That's why we do what we do.
All right. So, question for you: you got this next shindig coming up here in March. Mm-hmm. Is that the farewell? What's after that?
Yeah, that's kind of the one that I just. That's kind of the farewell, like pretty much like almost on everything, unless I get like I'll do one more boxing, but that'll probably be right before. But that'll be like my farewell, just so I can go out the way I wanted to go out. The way I know I can go out and the way that I will go out, and then I can just rest my legacy on that because I'm doing a lot of promoting, in-house promotions right now. So I own, I own my gyms and then the Hot Box Fight Series, HBFS. I put on 5 shows. And like, if you go to my Instagram, you'll see the second video there, like the fight of the night, I'm giving out bonuses. We sold, in my gym, we had over 600 people in my gym. You'll see wall packed. I got taco trucks, beer trucks. I got everything. It's like I can literally run my show and I own it all. So I don't have to, there's no rent to be paid for that show. So it's a good thing. But I'm actually looking to expand and become the face of amateur MMA fighting in Maryland. Right now we don't have one. I've talked to the godfather of MMA, Rollo, briefly, and we're setting up a meeting, because he runs the show and, I got his blessing. We run it. It's like, got a couple ideas of the road to Shogun is through HBFS, like we'll be a feeder to bigger regional organizations opposed to some just mom and pop shop. Like we're going to be legit,
Well, I always thought that from my referee stuff, the amount of shows that New Jersey and Pennsylvania threw compared to Virginia and Maryland was like, dude, it was like night and day. We do 25, 30 events in Pennsylvania and there would be like 4 or 5 in Maryland. in Virginia. I
Well,
always thought
that's
Yeah.
why I always found, like, he mentioned Jason Farrell. Shout out to Jason Farrell. Level Up. That dude's been making inroads to try and spread the sport to the point where there's guys that get the exposure from. I think I met Micah the first time, like, to see him fight. And this is back in my fan when I just started training, like, just became a fan, just started training. I watched this guy fight in Baltimore, and now I'm at Spar Wars with my coach, and there's Mike Apparel. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is cool.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you meet him, and you chop it up, and everybody's a dude, and we all put our pants on one leg at a time. But these level up smokers, the exhibitions, this type of stuff.
That's kind of where that's where it came from. I used to have all my fighters fight on his smokers and stuff, but and at the time I didn't own my own gym. He's still doing his thing and Bowie, and I'm in Millersville, so we don't really conflict with each other on that. And mine's about the passion and making money. I got Vince Mosca, who is he's a professional boxer too. He head coach at Ground Control. He's actually my matchmaker, so he's like my partner for that with matchmaking. And we just I put on a hell of an event. He fills the cards, and I kid you not, if you see these fights we put on, they're just as good, if not better. A lot of them have been mainly like better than actual events like pro events you guys go to. It's that well matched, and these kids are going nuts. My son fought on it. He fought on our very first one. He fought his very first fight 2 shows ago. But dude, it's a big party. You gotta have fun, kids. Everybody's adults, and we bang.
Yeah, I always thought
make a trip down for that, Bill.
No, I'm sure it's come along, but like 8-9 years ago, I always thought Virginia and Maryland were untapped. You know
why? You know why Maryland was untapped? And it's because of Pat, the old commissioner.
Pat Piniella.
He's gone. Yeah. He's gone. So about 6 months ago, he retired. We got Nino. So Nino's in charge, and he's amazing. We like him a lot, and he gets it. So, I mean, why can you have pro MMA but not amateur MMA? That doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? So we're going to figure all that. We're going through all that stuff. Once I sit down and talk with John.
It's good. Now you have a chance to grow with it a little bit. Like I remember when I was because I did a bunch of refereeing in Virginia listen, I'll tell you about the Virginia Department of Recreation. Okay, and you'll remember this guy, Dave Holland. Crazy nice guy, man. The nicest man.
Oh yeah.
He was not a fan of mixed martial arts. He wasn't an advocate for mixed martial arts. Virginia decided to make it legal, and they literally dumped it in his lap. He's a totally sweet, very nice guy. Man, he didn't know what the hell he was doing. He would call up Greg Serb and ask for help.
Oh, Serb's going too. Yeah. Between him and Pat, I don't know who's worse.
Thank you.
God bless.
Finally, somebody else who speaks the truth.
Listen, we've debated on this show. Greg loved you guys. He really did. He didn't want to see anybody get fucked up or hurt.
Oh no, I know that.
He was just an unprofessional asshole. Is what he was. Like, at the end of the day, that's what he was.
That's all.
Well,
he had too much bravado. Yeah, because I don't know, he had too much bravado about himself.
Yeah, he had Napoleon syndrome. That's what it was. I'll say it. I've been saying it for years.
He really did care about you guys and not getting hurt and wanting to put on a good product.
No, he did. It was just, it was just a bit over. It's a bit over the top.
24 on the regional scene. I'm anxious to see what PA and Maryland, especially Maryland, because Maryland's so far like. Everybody said Greg Serb was holding us back. You have Dana White saying on record that PA commission was one of the greatest to deal with, but yet how many times does the UFC stop in PA? Not very often.
Once every 100 fights.
Well, and even look at Bellator. You had Bellator back at 1 or 2 events in Bellator that I can remember in history where you were able to pull a local guy and get it. I think 24 is going to be exciting for PA and MMA with Ed Kunkel, and then definitely for sure the amateur scene. You're going to see an explosion. You're going to see a lot of guys coming up through and being cultivated. And I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 or 3 years, and I'm not saying anything negative or disrespectful to John Rollo. The guy's a legend. Shout out to John Rollo.
Oh yeah.
You're looking at CFFC the way CFFC is now. I think Shogun is poised to, and it's been that way for a while. Guys have come through Shogun, and it's like a diamond in the rough. Like not a lot of people know about it outside the region, but Shogun's poised to start pumping some people through the system.
Yeah, so they have, and then, one guy who's just about to pump through the system. One of my best closest friends, Rob Watley. He just won the I cornered him.
Oh yeah. I've been in there with Rob before.
Well, he came back after a 4-year layoff, took out the champ at CFFC, and then he defended this title back to back. Finished the guy about 2 weeks ago. He was a homegrown Shogun fighter, and then in CFFC, and Brallo actually has a funny relationship with CFFC. Obviously, that's not one for me to speak on. But he's the next big thing. He'll get called up immediately. He just won UFC Fight Pass of the year. Tucker Lutz went through it. Colton Smith, he didn't fight Shogun, or did he? No, he was UFC. So I mean, they've pumped him out. Like you said, but I think in the next few years, they're really going to start pumping out a lot, because there's a lot of young talent that's really, really good in Maryland, and they're finally just starting to get seen.
Yeah, and I think you got more opportunities year after year. You got Contender Series now. I would personally like to see Watley. Like, I was excited for Horcher Terrill on PFL. I'd like to see like Watley Terrill on Contender Series.
Dude, man, that would be sick. But
I'll tell you what. I watched every Contender Series fight this year. Some of the guys they gave opportunities to see a guy like Rob Watley not even get a call up or get an opportunity for that is fucking heartbreaking. I mean, some of the guys they gave opportunity to were fucking horrendous.
Yeah,
absolutely fucking horrendous.
It's like, did they bring them in like legit to get beat because they already knew they were going to pick the one guy? Like, there are a lot of lopsided.
No. I'm talking some of the favorites. Some like minus 300, minus 400 favorites. They were horrendous.
A lot of them were very good, but
absolutely horrible.
Side note, what you said about Darryl Horcher, you know how many cards I fought? So he was on my PFL card. Me and him fought together. We fought on Bellator together. We fought on CFFC together, and we fought on XCC together. Like, and we don't even live in the same state. We know each other now through what. But it was funny you said that, because he's an OG of the sport, man. He's a good.
No. Darryl's my old teammate, man. Him and
he's a dog. I like him a lot.
Yeah. We fought at we fought at Barbarian Fight Club. Just him and I went down with like 3 other teammates, and him and I fought there that night.
That's wild.
Well, cat's out of the bag now. Crumrine, he comes down and trains with Mark Crumrine there in Carlisle. That's where I got Riley Karmakadish hooked up.
Okay.
So that's where Riley, a friend of mine's son, was interested in getting into the sport, and where he was at, it just wasn't too far from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to send him with somebody we trusted, so I put him up there with Crumrine, and he's having the time of his life.
That's all. Well,
that was always the thing with Darryl, and I'll tell you, this is a former teammate of his, and this is spoken with absolute love. Darryl has a very professional, successful job.
Yeah,
and he was training on the side. And,
I do know.
We tried to be the best training partners for him that we could. A lot of us were not on his level. And, if you want to take that next step and go that next level in mixed martial arts, you need to be the worst guy in the gym.
Yeah.
And Darryl is the best guy in the gym, and like I said, a guy like me, I'd get in there and I'd spar with Darryl, and I would do my best.
Yeah,
but I couldn't push him or give him.
You couldn't push him help. No, I get it. I understand that for sure.
No, we were a small gym, and he did travel some other places. But you know what? Had you put Darryl at a place like in Alliance MMA or a Syndicate MMA with other killers, like I think he could have gone a lot further with it. But he has a successful job that he didn't want to give up back here in PA. And there is life after fighting. A lot of times
that's what I'm dealing with. Getting ready for that all be over, but I'm trying to set myself up right.
Not everybody makes $8 million fighting for the UFC in their lifetime.
Hell no.
Yeah. So Darryl, like I said, he's like a lot of us. He was stuck between a rock and a hard place as far as where do I want to go with this? Like I said, he had a very successful job back here. It's not something you would just give up for a maybe in the UFC.
Onyx.
So, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool you got to know Darryl. I'm surprised you guys didn't get matched up somewhere along the way, man.
Weight classes, because he's 155 and I'm 170, 185.
Okay.
Yep.
Good deal. Yeah, I know he had his last match. It didn't go so well. He's starting to get towards the 40-year range itself. So 40 seems to be the expiration date on us old timers. Yeah.
I feel like guys can bare knuckle box. Like you hit that, and I just hit the 40 mark in December. You know what I'm saying? And I I'm nowhere as close to where I was when I was training or trying to get ready to try and fight, or we're entertaining some jiu-jitsu now that my back's straightened out. But other than that, like, I'm nowhere as close to it. So
Well,
I feel like these guys from 40 to 50 can bang on some bare knuckle boxing.
Well, that's because of that TRT.
Well, hold on. Help me out with this. Are the bare knuckle fighting? Are they 3 2-minute rounds, or is it 5 2-minute rounds, or is it 5 rounds for the main event?
It's 5 2-minute rounds.
Okay,
They're just 5 rounds. They're just banging.
You know what I think that's why it lends itself to the older generation of combat sports fighter, is because you know what? If you keep yourself in good shape and you have a previous mixed martial arts
you
or
can last
boxing,
10 minutes.
Yeah. And then you get a minute rest every 2 minutes, and you know you only need to hit the guy once or twice.
Yep, that's right.
If you find that sweet spot, you know there's no way I'm dragging him into the 9th round and waiting for him to get tired. You know, so I think there's a little bit more longevity on the bare knuckle side of it. Man, I wish.
But you look a lot uglier when you're done. You be getting smoked.
Chicks dig scars.
That's true.
Chicks dig scars. I wish I would have had the chance to do that. I'm just a little too old at this point. But.
And they just posted it too, and it's been, I think David Feldman's people posted it, or BKFC posted it, but like the rate of injury for like busted orbitals and shit like that, everything that you're getting damage wise for the most part is superficial.
Yeah.
And the damage factor is actually, it's better for you to fight bare knuckle.
Well,
and whatever the science is behind it.
Internally, but I like what I look like.
You got your boyish good looks.
Then that's Bob and Weave. Move that head.
You can Brent Schoenfeld and do some underwear modeling and shit like that here in the future, possibly. So
I'll hit him up.
Anything's possible. But no, other than that, I guess we're close to an hour. I know, Bill, you probably want to wrap up here.
We're all good, man. What,
Micah, all right, we're running it tonight. There's days I get warnings.
We ain't running it that long. Mama cooked me a steak that I'm waiting to eat.
Micah, real quick, give yourself one more plug, man. How do people help you out? How do they follow you? Where you at? Instagram, TikTok,
So I'm learning what TikTok is, what that's about with all my kids and stuff. But I'm Micah See Me Terrill. You can follow me at Facebook at Micah Terrill, Instagram at Hotbox 2.0. Or my main is see me 2024, because if you have a fucking problem, just go ahead and see me.
I like it, man. Hey, we're gonna see you in March, right?
Yes, sir. I will be in contact for sure. I'll appreciate you guys.
We'll talk to you soon after you have that meeting with John and you get some stuff.
I'll be. You'll see me. You'll be one of the first people to hear, so we can start pumping.
Hit me up, because I want to help with some content for that, because I really like the idea on it. And you already know all you guys got to do down there is ask. So,
all right, brother. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having
me. Appreciate you, bro. Be
easy. All right, thanks.
Take it easy, bro.
Micah See Me Terrill.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a couple of years. It's good to see him again.
Yeah, you know what? And I thought about it when I brought it up, and my mind's going. Like I said, I got the sick fog going on, and probably a little bit of the riff I smoked before the show. I think you reffed the Fort Eustis card, didn't you? I
did. Once or twice, I think, actually. I went back down there.
He had an injury, and I'm going to I remember this because on the road back to this is why I said what I said. On the road back to it, his wife, Jamie, super cool. Just again, like I feel like I know these people because I've been working and supporting everything that they've been doing for so long, and he supported us, and we had the apparel company, and Micah was down for it. But no, Jamie's awesome. So Jamie sent me over a bunch of stuff. She wanted to do like a promo thing for him right after that, like the whole road back. I think that Fort Eustis fight, he broke, I think bones in both hands on that fight. And she sent me some footage, and we did a nice little promo package for him for like his sponsors and stuff on the road back to the recovery after that. It was nuts.
I did referee that Fort Eustis event. I don't think I had his fight, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I think I've only been in there with him with Brent Schoenfeld. I think that was it.
Yeah.
So
you didn't really ref Shogun cards, did you?
No, never hit a Shogun card. It was just
he was on so many, and I completely forgot. I feel shitty. I completely forgot his Bellator appearance.
Hey, Pat Pinella loved him some Mario Yamasaki. No joke. Mario Yamasaki always got the call for the Shoguns. Not me. Not Bill Bookwalter. He had no idea.
That's the guy. You know what I'm saying? DC. Everybody. It's funny when you see these people and they're coming on the internet and they're like, "Who lets that guy? The UFC fired him." No, He works for the DC. He's worked for the DC and Maryland commissions for years. Owns a school down there with his brother. Super nice guy. I met him. And I met both of them. Yep. Super nice guys. Yep. Did he make some mistakes? Yeah. You know how we feel about refs making mistakes here. It happens. Whatever.
It happens.
But the amount of people that think that, oh, well, he got fired by the UFC.
No. That's not
how this works, bud. And then the next breath, they're calling somebody a casual. So, other than that, I think next week, who do we have next week?
Yeah, we got some people lined up, right?
Oh, that's right. We'll name drop it because they committed to it. Shout out to Pat the Brick Brady. He's coming on next week. And then starting 24 out with a bang. The following week, we are scheduled. It's Bill's funny week at work. So we are scheduled to have, and I'll give you just a shout out. I said it to Bill earlier because it's actually pretty impressive when you stack it up. So Pat Brady next Thursday. The following week will be Saturday, 7 p.m. Crew Primo Bella Rosa. 7 Thai boxing and kickboxing titles. We'll get into it when he comes on in 2 weeks. But that guy's been over to the Mecca there. I think it's Lumpini Stadium. I'm not real big on Muay Thai. Lumpini Stadium over there. He commentated, and it might not be Lumpini, but one of the famous stadiums over there he commentated for and did a couple shows there, which is kind of a big deal. And he's going to stop by and join us on a Saturday because he teaches on a Thursday. So we got that stuff coming up. Bill's supposed to be working some magic with some people that he knows. We'll see what happens there. The guys that Bill knows are really busy. I'm not saying that my guys aren't busy, but the guys that Bill knows are really busy. So,
and just to put it in perspective, I am very, very small potatoes with who we're talking about. So the fact that he would, the fact that they would even commit or even consider coming on would be a big deal. So we'll see. We'll drop more on that later.
For sure. We have verbal. We'll put it this way: we have verbal commitments from certain people, and we don't like the cop chaser name drop or jinx ourselves. So we kind of just let them simmer in the background until we get a. Even Micah had me scared because we had some scheduling stuff the other week, and Micah had stuff going on, and he took time out of his day to talk to us. So we appreciate that. He's got stuff coming. Anything? Is there really anything to bitch about?
Yeah.
Do you have anything?
Of course.
You got one.
I always got something to bitch about, man.
Well, real quick, before we get into the ref rant brought to you by Pull No Punches Apparel, just wanted to remind you guys, we are also brought to you by CannaDips, with this week's flavor being tangy citrus, actually infused with limonene terps. These are really good. I just did 2 or 3 during the show. CannaDips.com, code FightShow for 20% off. And with that being said, we will add to the stage the ref rant graphic, brought to you by Pull No Punches Apparel. And Bill will take it away here momentarily.
There we go. All right, here we go. I always have a bitch. My life's pretty good. I live a good life, have a good living, healthy kids, all that stuff. But I always got something to bitch about. It doesn't have to be long. Dana White, you went and Bellator, all these MMA promotions. You went and got me hooked on mixed martial arts. And you run so many events, and I shouldn't bitch about a damn thing. But you're going to leave me high and dry for 2 weeks at the beginning of the year after December 31st. Come on, man. Start January off with a bang. The first week or 2 of January should be high-level cards, pumping people up for 2024. Dana White, I know you need a break. Scott Coker, I know you need a break. If you need to hire other people on to run some high-level shows or whatever, you're just not feeling it, do whatever you got to do. I'm used to seeing mixed martial arts every week. Don't leave me hanging for 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a shot. And come on, man, let's get to a point. MMA's getting big enough now. I need a show every week. So that's my ref rant. It's really nothing to bitch about. It's just a whiny little bitch, but
we already covered this, Bill. There's 52 weeks in a year. You had MMA 43 out of the 52 last year. And if you just get the Fight Pass subscription, if you would just get the Fight Pass subscription like I told you, and speaking of, I forgot to add this caveat earlier, CFFC is the staple as far as regional. We know this, and that's not to take away from anything that anybody else is doing. Like we said, shout out to John Rollo. I think you're going to see, you guys in the MMA space are going to see more Maryland fights because of John Rollo and the things he's done for the sport. Shout out to him. But
I would love to. I would love to see
CFFC is the
Shogun.
staple. They're getting ready to do Muay Thai. They've already launched on Fight Pass. They've already launched some sort of wrestling thing. I'm not a huge collegiate wrestling fan, but they have some sort of mat pass wrestling thing now. They're also getting ready to be doing Muay Thai, I saw today. So with that being said, CFFC continues to innovate. Fight Pass is a great product. There's plenty of shit to watch. I personally sat the other day in the void and watched 3 hours of grappling because I just needed a fix.
I'll tell you what, I do hope. I like John Rollo. I like the ground control guys. I hope he gets something hooked up with UFC Fight Pass. That'd be really cool to see. That really would. I don't know if it's going to happen. This is just some guy that used to referee, drinking beers, thinking what's on my head. I would like to see. I would like to see Shogun get hooked up with UFC Fight Pass.
Well, cool. It's not for me to speak on because I don't know all the details of the ins and outs of it. But much as it was alluded to earlier, I don't know if that's going to happen for people outside. They might just have to look and seek out the Shogun thing because Shogun was a part of Alliance MMA. If again, this is all speculation and from outside information, so none of this is I know anything. This is me just talking and regurgitating. So, Shogun was a part of Alliance. The Alliance thing didn't end up turning out to be the best at the end of it, and there was a lot of people that have a lot of different opinions about it. I personally thought it was good for the sport. Maybe it was executed wrong. I don't know. Not enough knowledge to speak on it, but I don't know. With CFFC being the powerhouse that he is, I don't know how much control they have over the ability for other stuff to get on Fight Pass. And that's not saying they do. I shout out to CFFC. I don't know things. I just know that things happen in the business side of things, and I don't know. I hope to see it. Anyways, again, not enough.
That was just me talking as a fan.
Yeah. So John Rollo gets a fair shake in our book. He's done a lot for the sport. He's been around for a minute.
Sure. Yeah.
But,
I like
excited for Micah to come back. I'm sad that he said it's only one, but I get it. 100% get it. As somebody that drastically changed their life for more time with my kids and do what's right for my kids 2 years ago, I fully understand that. And that also speaks again to how solid his wife and support system is, because not everybody has the ability to do that or the support to do it. So shout out to Jamie as well. I want to send a shout out to her. She gets her flowers too. Salt of the earth people down there in Maryland.
Sounds like we have a date in March in Maryland, man. You and me.
Look, if it's a choice to go to Baltimore and go to Shogun and watch Micah fight in his farewell fight, or go to Atlantic City and watch the UFC, I'm choosing Baltimore 10 times out of 10.
I think I could do that too. Yeah, I think I would like that. I think I would like that too.
No conflict there, definitely. I was at 2 or 3 of Micah's fights as a fan, specifically for Micah fighting, and the last bunch with everything going on in my personal life, I couldn't make it. So I'm making an effort to. I'm also personally 100%. My mission is to get my wife at least somewhat invested in MMA. Like, it's refreshing for Christy to hit me up with stuff. I'm like, oh, Christy likes MMA. Like, there's hope for this. We'll get the two of them together. Maybe she can rub off on her a little bit. So,
hey, throw $100 on a guy that's fighting and tell your wife, be like, hey, we win money if this guy wins. She'll be invested.
Yeah, she didn't really care.
I'm playing that. I don't know.
Thankfully, she's not a football fan. It could be worse. She could be one of these fucking women that are like, oh, I need to watch football. Thankfully. Season's almost over. We don't have to worry about fantasy or picks or anything anymore. Other than that, I guess I will see you next Thursday. Pat Brady's going to stop in and talk to us, and he said I look like Bryce Mitchell, and I butchered this whole facial thing up going on, so we'll see if it grows back. Maybe I'll get compared to somebody else next week. We'll know.
I'm gonna next Thursday. I'm gonna see what I can do to pick a 5-round sparring fight with Pat Brady. See if I drive down to his gym, if he'll give me 5 minutes. Don't hurt me.
You said 5 rounds.
No,
you said 5 rounds. You said 5 rounds first.
I said 5 minutes.
No. We're gonna run it back. I'm gonna clip this. You said 5 rounds.
You can go ahead and clip it. I've never said 5 rounds.
You just said 5 rounds.
Dude,
and then you said 5 minutes.
I said the first 4 minutes we go like 50%. The last minute he can turn up the heat a little bit. Don't hurt me, Pat. I'm looking forward to seeing Pat.
Yeah, next week's gonna be cool. You reffed him how many times? Once, twice, 2, 3?
Oh yeah, probably 3 is what I'm 3 or 4 times. I'm guessing he did the best. He put on the best amateur fight that I've ever seen in Pennsylvania that I've ever personally reffed. I'm not saying the best fight, and I'm saying
Okay,
the best
so
one
I
out
want
of
you to, this is your homework for next week. I want you to compile how many total fights you have reffed. So when
Okay.
Pat Brady comes on next week, you can hit him with the first annual Bills Best Fight Ever award, and we'll figure out some sort of compensation at the end. But no, if that's the case, then that's your homework for the week. Figure out how many you've reffed, and then we'll figure out.
There's not even a record.
It's all numbers, dog. It's all numbers.
I'm probably in the 2000s to 3000, if somewhere in that range. But
so that's even saying more.
Pat and Ian Alston, that man, they swung on each other for 3 rounds, and we'll clip the fight. It's on YouTube. There's 2 heavyweights. I mean, mouthpieces were flying. It ended up a draw. And you can watch the fight. I'll clip it to you after this. I literally had to take a point from Pat because his mouthpiece kept coming out. He wouldn't down on the motherfucker. And I don't like taking points from anybody. I don't want to be influential in any sort of fight. But it ended up a draw. These 2 guys got in there and took it on the chin, stood in each other's faces, and kept swinging. It was great. I'll send you the clip after we get off the air. All right?
Yeah, send me the clip. I got to do my due diligence on Mr. Brady to make sure I'm up to date on where he's at. I feel horrible for. I'm a data guy. I crave the data, and I completely missed Micah's Bellator, and I watched that. If I knew it, there's certain times I tuned in for stuff for certain people. PFL was for Daryl Horcha and Micah Terrill, and Bellator was for sure Micah that night, and I remember that, and I'm a little upset at myself. I fell off. Somebody just popped in. If you're in, drop a comment real quick. We're getting ready to get out of here, but we appreciate everybody stopping by. Jay Jamie, Corey Nichols, Josh Radinsky, Pat Brady stopped by, Matt Benson earlier. Oh, everybody that stopped in and left a comment, everybody that supports, we appreciate you guys. And Fight Show episode 16, we are out next week, 7:00 p.m. Eastern with Pat the Brick Brady. If you don't know who the hell that is, look him the fuck up.